It is 1:02 and I'm about to open the Historic Structures Advisory Board meeting. I will accept the agenda as written with no changes. And I'm going to read the announcement. This is Mickey Rowland, Chair of the Historic Structures Advisory Board. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond. Brooke?
Yes.
And Lucy?
Yes.
And that's all we have. No staff and no anticipated speakers other than applicants. This open meeting of HSAB is being conducted remotely pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021. For this meeting, HSAB is convening by video conference via Zoom app as posted at the town's website, identifying how the public may join. Participants may find information on the conduct of this meeting at that location. Please note this meeting is recorded and each vote will be conducted by a roll call vote. So, moving right along, we're going to go to the first application, which is, where is it? Where is it? Hang on, I've got to find my, let's try that again. Technical difficulties, okay. This isn't right.
I can share my screen if that's helpful.
It might be.
All right,
Is that, maybe I got it. Is that it?
there it is.
Okay. That was weird. Okay. I'm sorry, was it Patrick?
Quickly.
Great, okay. So this is 29 Cliff Road. It's really just for that one dormer on the south elevation. And Patrick, if you want to open this up and explain it, go ahead.
So we here have a property, 29 Cliff Road. This is the garage. It sits in front of the property right on Cliff Road. The south side does not have a dormer today. The north side does. What we've decided to do is to mirror copy the dormer, put it on the front side. Today, the garage is used primarily for storage. There is first floor and second floor. What we're interested in doing is making a second floor office that has a bathroom for the owner to be able to work in that space. What we're primarily doing is creating a space inside. The outside is the dormer is the result of what we wanted to do inside. What we've tried to do is be sensitive to the Cliff Road neighborhood. We did a pretty extensive survey of houses along Cliff Road, really ones that have dormers, shed dormers facing the road all the way out to Cliff Road towards Sherburne Park, Sherburne Turnpike, and then everything towards the water. We tried to match up what we found, and we have found a few projects that are attached lower to the application that we found, and pretty much just tried to match it up. And that's what we have.
Okay. Thanks, Patrick. This is it here, isn't it? Isn't this? I believe.
Yeah.
There to the left. Yep, right there.
Okay. There's a little bit of a shot of it. Okay, it's right on the road. And yes, some have dormers in the one. There's another one further down here. These are single window gable dormers. And then earlier we passed one that had two smaller shed dormers, probably right about there.
There's a house that's right across the street on the right hand side, right there, the yellow one, down a little ways, that has an almost identical.
Other direction, Mr. Rowland.
Down this way.
Yeah, right where that Jeep is, or whatever the thing is.
Or a little more next building, next building.
Are we looking at this thing here, that dormer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, not a great example. In fact, it's a terrible example, but there it is. Okay, so I have my usual comments, and then I'm going to open it up to the other board members. Let me pull that drawing back up. So, unlike the previously approved dormer on the north side, this dormer faces Cliff Road. The dormer takes up too much of the roof plane and has too much blank shingled wall on the ends. This should either be two small single window dormers or one dormer with two separated windows with minimal shingled wall on either side of the windows. And just so, by the way, Patrick, the west elevation is drawn incorrectly, and the garage door is really drawn badly compared to, you sent some good photographs right here. So it's just these these panes are slightly different than what you're showing. And you know, west and east can't have the shed on the right hand side. So I think it's the west. The west is clearly wrong. So anyway, my point being that I think this is too much dormer on the road side, that close to the road. So Lucy, any thoughts?
I agree with you.
I agree. You know, I think that the other dormer, besides being away from the street, also has a roof line in front of it to help conceal it. I think that pulling in the ends at least a foot and splitting the windows would probably help a lot, and maybe even dropping the plate height so it's not such a tall shingled mass facing the street, so that it just feels like it's going to overwhelm the street on that side.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
mean, I get the temptation to use the other side as a model for this side, but it's really much more visible here. And kind of too big.
Down, if you scroll down into the photographs that are attached,
Okay.
did you get?
Yep. So that's more of this house. So here's, yeah, here's the one further down the road that we just went by, 22.
I mean, that works.
Yeah, that would be better. And here's Summit.
What you're suggesting is 22 Cliff Road is a poor example.
No, I think 22 Cliff right here. This it says 22 Cliff, but it's on the 29. Is that 22 Cliff really? It's, but anyway,
That's not 22 is the yellow building.
yeah.
Right.
The,
So 22, this yellow one is a bad example. It totally overwhelms. Building with Nantucket in mind clearly states that a shed dormer on the front of a building or anywhere really should not overwhelm the roof plane. This isn't too bad, actually. It's not overwhelming. It's still pretty large at 37 Cliff. These are just different situations, totally different.
So I think that as the scroll down to the bottom one, a little ways, up a little ways. Slide number
41B.
right there, that right there, 16. That's exactly what we're trying to do in some ways.
I'm sorry, which one here? This one?
Yeah, it says 82 Cliff Road.
Too.
Okay, that's not really what you're presenting.
Not that large. Let me see.
I mean, I would say you are not.
yeah, it's apples and oranges.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you're looking for an example, I would aim a little bit closer to this one here. I'm not sure what number it is, but it's further up on the same side of the street as you.
I think that's the Horchow garage.
Is it?
I think so, yeah.
It could be. And I'm going to add to my notes the lower plate height because I like this shorter window.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else to add by anybody?
Nope.
Okay, thanks, Patrick. We're moving on to 8 Red Mill, which Brooke is questioning, is this really in our jurisdiction or not? And it's probably maybe on the edge, but we're going to look at it anyway. So this is, okay, what is this? Is this the main house?
That's the main house.
Yep. Okay, I didn't have much to say about this. I think it's a nice design. I didn't really want to pick it apart too much. It didn't seem to need it. My only comment about both of these applications, one being the main house and the other, I'm going to pull up the next one, which is the cottage. I guess one comment I have is they're both really, really similar looking, and that's makes sense, but maybe they're too similar looking.
I think they're just very similar in size. And I think that it makes the architecture too similar. And I
Yeah.
think that if that other building were 20% smaller, like it's supposed to be, or maybe it is,
It might be.
I think it would look different just because of the scale.
Yeah. I mean, is
And I
that a
think-
concern that they look too similar?
Well, I think realistically, if you pulled into that driveway, you wouldn't know which one is the main house.
Well, that's an interesting comment. Maybe that's a good thing or a bad thing, but traditionally, and this is my only real comment, is that traditionally the main house should be in front of the guest house. And it's backwards in this situation. Here's the latest Google map showing that development. And these are all main houses up by the street, fairly, a little bit of a setback. And all the cottages or smaller structures are in the back.
Sorry about that.
So I guess that's all I really have to say about it, is that it's this is the main house again. And anybody have any comment about the design?
Not at
Yes.
all. I think they're nice
Yes.
looking.
Go
I
ahead.
do.
Go ahead, Lucy.
South elevation, I think there's too much fenestration in the basement. I thought we were supposed to try to avoid that kind of stone, instead of use more fieldstone looking. Isn't that they used to say that's sort of Pennsylvania style stone? Mike, Nikki, I emailed you a photograph of stone veneer that's down on Easton Street, right near the triangle. That is more fieldstone looking, that I thought was more appropriate.
Okay, let me see if I can pull that. I've got that here. Oh yeah. Okay, I'll bring that up onto the screen.
I like Lucy's comment about the stone.
Yeah, I think my for some reason I'm not seeing a lot of, my sharing's not working. So I'm sorry, Lucy, I can't show it, but it's big round boulders.
Yeah, you had it before,
Yeah, you
actually.
had it. I saw it.
Did you see it?
Yep.
Yeah.
How'd you see it? I couldn't.
Magic.
You saw it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you're seeing it somehow.
Did you see it, Mickey?
I did. I saw it on my screen. I didn't know I was
Okay.
sharing it.
All
This is
right.
what he's proposing this, which
Yeah.
I guess you're right. It's certainly not native looking or Nantucket looking.
No, and that's, What's next door to that property? Is that conservation land of some sort?
Let me actually pull that up. In fact, I'll pull up.
So we've got like borderline rural.
So this is owned by the town of Nantucket to the south. And you know, there may be a walking path down south of these properties.
There is,
Yeah,
yeah,
I remember working on one of these over here, and that was a concern at the time, as was Dead Horse Valley.
I think that walking path is actually gonna get moved though,
To where?
just into the woods a little bit more. So that people don't have to see the houses.
Yeah, you know, my feeling on this one was that this really wasn't a super visible location. So I didn't, I wasn't, you know, I think it's nice looking. This is the street side. I think that's fine. It's fairly modest. And I didn't mind this glass. I thought it was kind of cool, and it's a kind of a filled in porch look, which didn't bother me. And also, Lucy, I don't think those basement windows are going to be seen by anybody. So again, they didn't bother me, but if you want me to, I'll mention it. I just think they're going to be marginally visible.
Okay, and then my other comment was that the stair to the front door of the guest house should be either narrower or some sort of, to differentiate it from the main house.
Yeah, that's probably a good point. It is does look a little narrower. Pull this one back again. It's a little narrower. It's a little less. I mean, I think there is a distinction in the formality. This is this, you know, I think they're really similar, but have their distinctions.
Okay, well, that's it for me.
Okay. So what do we want to say here? I do think that they should be rearranged. Does anybody agree with it?
Yeah, I do. I think that the issue there, obviously, is just that that's the only access point, and every other building in that subdivision has an access point that allows the buildings to be forward and backward of each other. Now, I think that there's a lot of space in between those two buildings if you go to the site plan. So the one showing both,
Yeah.
I think that there's room to flip them and then push the main building back. And they certainly don't need a driveway that's that deep. So I think it's all doable without really messing with the design too much.
Mhm.
Well,
it does look like the lot tapers toward the front. Is that
yeah,
in that main house? I mean, you could just skinny it down a couple feet, that would work.
yeah,
But traditionally, I just don't think it's a good thing to do, is to start saying, okay, the guest house can go forward to the main house.
yeah.
But wouldn't you want the access from the driveway to that main house closer anyway?
You would think. I would if I were living in it.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree. I agree that it definitely needs to be brought forward.
okay. All right. So any comment about the design? Lucy, you still concerned about those southern windows?
No, I'm not.
Oh, the stone. Yeah.
This is stone. I think that the other stone is more appropriate for both Nantucket and this setting.
Yeah.
It's prettier too.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hi, Diane.
can I ask a question?
Sure, please do.
When you show the picture of the site plan of all the houses, and you look at this house yet again, they are going from sideline to sideline.
Mhm.
And the amount of greenery around this place, which was up on a green hill above the cemetery and the rest of it, it just seems to me that there's no reduction. Every one of those properties do the same thing.
Mhm. It's true. I mean, these are jammed in here really tightly.
Yeah,
Well, it looks like they want to probably put a pool between the two buildings.
I was thinking the same thing.
No way.
not have the pool.
Not ROH, is it? Or maybe
It is not.
No.
Look, all
R2,
the
I
neighbors,
think.
all the neighbors have a pool. You got to keep up with the Joneses.
Exactly. They sure do. Look at them all. Yeah, Diane, that's a good point. I don't know. I hate to say that it's like the last one is a little too late, but I'll mention that. I think it's worth noting. We've done it on plenty of others.
Right.
So we could comment on that. It does raise the sighting, you know, if he's going to stick with these kinds of buildings, it's just going to be tight. And but that's, you know, something for him to work out.
Right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to let those comments go for both of the applications. So we're just interested in them both together. Unless anybody has any specific comments about one or the other.
No,
Still the stone, I'll add the stone comment to both of them.
Do we want to see this back, Nikki?
Yeah, of course we do. We want to see them all back, including probably the garage. Thank you. All right, we're going to move on to 15 Cliff Road. This one we've seen before. They've made some changes since the last time we saw it. They've retained some chimneys. They changed the windows back to 6/1s. Various changes to do with windows versus doors. Oh, and the big change they made, which was a good thing, was this elevation, which really faces Cliff Road. So before they had this sort of utilitarian looking garage, and now it's I guess not, it's still sort of utilitarian looking, but at least it's a little bit more of a formal presentation and seems to be making.
I like it. I think it looks kind of like a carriage house.
I think that's a good way to describe it. I think that it does feel a little bit more like it's a designed carriage house.
Like a gatehouse or a carriage house or something.
Exactly.
I like it.
I did have other comments about this elevation facing southeast, because I think as you look at the, you know, along into their new driveway, this is going to be pretty visible. Here's not exactly, this is probably kind of the view you'll be seeing maybe a little bit further over to the right, looking more directly at the house. So a little bit more of a natural frontal exposure. So my comments are almost all about this spot right here where the front door is. The proposed new front door and entry have an overall awkward appearance. The projecting second floor over the front door, and this used to, you can see this is an existing gable and it used to project out a few feet, creating this negative mass, but now they're actually bringing it out a few feet more. So it's even more of a negative mass. You can see the shadow line, but it's not a porch roof. So back to my comments, the projecting second floor over the front door creates a negative massing instead of a roofed front porch. The negative mass should be filled in a hip porch roof provided to create a proper front porch. The door should be separated from the attached windows and have a more formal surround and be a more formal front door rather than a four-link. The porch post to the left should align with the corner board above. Not sure why it doesn't. And the lights in the B windows, which are here, these are new windows, and there's a lot of them, on the southeast are proportionally are proportioned horizontally rather than vertically. They should be narrowed to correct this. So, you know, this is going to become the new front door. It should look like a formal front entry. And to me, it's kind of missing some points. So any comments, Brooke?
I agree. I think there's a lot of shingle too in that second story piece.
Yeah, I guess if they had a porch roof, it would kind of bury some
Yeah,
of
it would cover it.
as-
Yeah, so I agree. I agree. I have nothing to add.
Okay.
I like all the other changes. Oh,
Yeah, I do appreciate the rest of it. You know, these French doors, I don't really love, and there's a lot of them. There's some facing the water. This really isn't, I'm not sure how visible this is even from like North Beach or Easton, or not Easton, but further down. So my comments were mostly directed to this view, which I think we will see. Lucy, did you want to say anything?
Yeah, I have a question. Does anybody think that the doors of the so-called carriage house look on the southwest elevation, that those doors should be a bit larger? I just don't like the scale of them compared to the windows right above.
Yeah. Something about the narrowness of them makes them, to me, kind of quirky, and maybe that's a good thing. If they get wider, they start looking like French doors.
Okay, all right.
Brooke, what do you think?
I agree. And maybe a window on the northwest elevation, or two windows. Again, it's a lot of shingle.
On this elevation?
Northwest,
Or-
next slide up. Yep.
Oh, here?
No,
Right
to the
here?
right on the garage.
Oh, in the garage. All right.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Just one or, two on either end of that mass would be,
That's a good point. I didn't even.
I think that might be visible, even though I know there's a hedgerow and that
yeah,
kind of stuff.
totally. I think that's a great idea, Brooke.
Yeah, me too. I think it's a narrow space between the houses on that up there, but I think obliquely you will see that big shingled wall.
Yeah, I think two windows spread out.
Yep. Got it. Good. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Next. Go back to Easton Street, 16 Easton. This is a new dwelling after they tear down the old one. So my comments are, this is still lot line to lot line. It should be given more space on the west side to allow more visual space between neighboring houses as viewed from the harbor. Creating a one-story additive mass on the west side would also accomplish this. That's this big block right here. If they can knock this down a little bit, I think that, make this one story. I think that'd be, they did add an additive one-story thing here. It's right there. Probably helps a little bit. When viewed on the floor plan, and this is not there. Where is it? Maybe there was it. Okay. These stairs still bother me, these curved stairs. When viewed on the floor plan, it is apparent that the curved friendship stairs awkwardly project from the building facade, and they are too formal for the Brand Point neighborhood. We said that before, and the HTC was sort of non-committal about that one. And then my last comment was on this side, the south. The 5-gang window on the south should be split up into 2 sets of windows. And we said that before too, and nothing happened. They did fix this door. The lights were kind of weird. Can't really tell as much. Yeah, there was more divided. They just didn't relate to the door very well. So not sure what, if there really were significant changes. Apparently she made the main gable, reduced main mass width. It might have dropped it a little bit. I don't know. Looks kind of the same.
It's the same.
It's kind of the same. I still don't love this balcony right over the front door. Again, the HGC was not interested in addressing that one. Lucy, do you have any thoughts about this?
The double staircase.
Yeah. Brooke?
Um, there's a lot going on here for sure. So, you know, given how far back this building is going to set from the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the fact that there's going to be two buildings in front of it. I don't know that we're ever going to see those curved stairs. They personally, like, I think they actually are helpful to distinguish what is the front entry mass, because the mass on the left kind of competes with it otherwise. So I see that they've made an effort to distinguish what is the front. And I think those stairs kind of help that. I think if they ran out to the side, it would be pretty plain looking. So I don't know that I have the same kind of concerns. I definitely share concerns about the 5-gang windows on the back. Just even the glass under the porch, might be a little bit overdone. I think just removing the side lights for the French doors, maybe that would help. I don't know, but it does seem just like it could be pared back a little bit on that south elevation. The other elevations, the west and the east, I'm fine with those. I have no concerns.
Okay. I get what you're saying about the front door, that kind of identifies the front.
Yeah.
As opposed to this, which they are kind of competing. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
I think, personally, I would rather see like maybe a single central stair rather than the two flanking ones. It just seems like, I don't know.
And I'd love to
With
see
the-
something besides the 6-panel door too.
Yeah, that's changed.
That's pretty plain.
Oh, this one over here?
No, on the main entry
Oh,
door.
the 6-panel.
It look really generic for what this is. I mean,
Well, she changed that because we didn't like this
oh, really?
light, which
Yeah.
was, the wrong direction.
Well,
What do you want me to say about that door? A more interesting door would be appreciated.
yeah, more interesting. I mean, I agree. The 9 light looks, that's also, it's a little average for what this is. So maybe there's like those, the pearl surround
Yep, those necklace type window
necklace.
doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
That might be kind of nice, and maybe it won't work. I don't know, but something like that.
Yep. Okay, good idea.
Can someone, I can't see it on my iPad, but what are the color of the trim, the shutters, and the foundation?
So for colors, we have a lot of white. Sash is, what is mineral alloy?
That's a slatey blue, isn't it?
Sash. What kind of windows are these? Arvins. SDLs. I assume they're wood. No, well, it doesn't say. So they're painting them. Mineral alloy. I wish I knew what that was.
There's several different clad
I'll
units
check on it.
that Marvin makes now. They have a fiberglass one, a vinyl clad one, and aluminum clad one. So it could be any one of those if it's not wood.
Why don't we ask for wood?
We can, I think.
Yeah, wood sash. Foundations natural cement. Roof natural, trim white. I assume that means window casings are white too. No blank for that. Okay,
This is mineral alloy. Can you see that?
I can, yeah. It's
You
a
hold your camera down a little lower
little lower.
and to your right.
Good.
Oh, that's nice color.
Yeah, I was just wondering how much was going on there. Because
Yeah.
you've got you got the staircase, you got all the windows, you've got
I think it's just going to read as an accent because it's the sash and the doors.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm not concerned about the color. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna add to my notes the too much fenestration to the south, a more interesting maybe necklace style door for the front door and wood sash. Any other comments on this one?
well, I would like to revisit the Red Mill guest house. I have a question on that I think we may have missed.
Okay, good. Red Mill guest house. This one. There we go.
Do
Go
you
ahead.
want the horizontal boards on that foundation?
Yeah, no, we don't. Does the main house have that?
I didn't see it, but let's check.
No. Gladdest. Yeah, good catch. Oh. Okay. No horizontal boards. Skirt boards.
Ooh,
Yeah. And that one, if they get it, will be the one prominent forward on the lot. So that'll be pretty visible. Okay. Thanks, Lucy.
Sure.
All right, that was a short one. Seabrook, they don't take very long.
Yeah, stick around.
sorry, what's that?
You're gonna miss us.
Sure will. Yeah. And what about, I mean, I'm going to ask online here, Brooke. I mean, at least maybe one or two more meetings until we can find a replacement.
I will not answer that online, but
Okay.
I'm pondering different scenarios in my head.
Okay,
So I haven't, it's not a complete write-off.
I'll consider that good news. Thank you. All right, I think we're done. Can I get a motion?
Wait 1 second. Remember Johnny McLaughlin's party next Tuesday at 5 o'clock out at the VFW.
Yes, thank you for the reminder. I've got it in my calendar, so
Yeah,
Is that in
Diane,
place of going to the HDC?
yeah,
Uh, well, it's something Steve is running.
Huh.
Yes,
Well, I
Diane,
guess
do you have a
maybe
way
we'll
to
just
get
have to
there?
blow off the HDC.
I imagine people will head
Yeah.
over after that. I guess.
I'm
What
going
time?
to go by my van that the Wave has.
Oh, right. Oh,
Oh,
good.
good.
Yeah, great.
Because you definitely are the one person that should be there.
Well, I'm not sure of that being the way I feel about the results of the election.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, well, all right. Do I get that motion for,
Yes,
Okay, motion's made to accept the minutes. Brooks seconding it.
Second,
All those in favor?
yes.
Aye,
Brooke,
aye.
I.
Thank you. And I think we're done for the day.
All right,
Thank you both.
thank
And
you.
another thing on the HDC agenda for tomorrow, I believe the first item to be discussed is the fake flowers that are on the front of buildings.
What is that about? I just, never heard about it until I saw it on the agenda, looked it up.
Yeah, well, there's, I think six storefronts that have these fake plastic flower arrangements around their entry.
Ah,
Not quite.
So-
Lemon Press is the biggest offender, being right on Main Street.
Yeah.
There are a couple on Center. There's one now near Aunt Lay's Fudge. Forget where the other ones are.
I saw a picture on the iPad of one that had a lot of yellow flowers with the door open. And they were coming down the door. I didn't see what building it was, but
Well, that'll be interesting to see what they say about that.
yeah.
They're 100% plastic.
Of course. All right, we'll tune in and watch that one. All right, thanks, everybody. Thanks, Diane.
Thank
Thank you.
All right, see y'all.